All right, everyone. Scotty Shaw doing 40 Days of K, and day 5. The word is care. So, starting off, I'd like to encourage all two of you who watch this about 4 years from now to call people and tell them, hey, 4 years ago when we're all hiding from coronavirus, I hope you did okay because I'm sure we're all starting to go insane being indoors, or I don't know. Hopefully, most people have better indoor entertainment systems than I do, Netflix and all that. Fortunately, unfortunately, or both, I got rid of Amazon Prime, Netflix, all that stuff because um, if I didn't, I would spend too much time watching movies and not getting stuff done. uh, I, you know, I wouldn't be reading this again. Well, I'd probably read it at some point, but I wouldn't be doing it like this. And I wouldn't be getting stuff done for my company. Um, Tech Tree Root, which I'll mention later. But yeah, I think one of the big things to start off with, Coach K opens this up. When you care about someone or something, you show genuine concern for that person or thing in good times or bad. And it's so true. You want to care about one another as individuals, have empathy and compassion. One big thing about caring for others is the way you respond to a teammate when they make a mistake or succeed is such a big deal. And in fact, not just teammates, but people who value your opinion, people around you. Now, of course, you know, if I don't know someone, they start criticizing me randomly, I'm just not going to pay attention. I don't care. I don't know them. What they mean to me. Unless you're someone who is successful on some level I want to reach or in a way I'm trying to do, then I will care. But that's because I value their opinion, not because I know them. So if I don't know who you are, I don't know why I should value your opinion. I'm just going to think, well, why does it matter? So, if you want to fix someone, if you want someone to do something differently or something, you got to show them that you care. It's part of the individual relationship first. You show them you care, and then they'll start feeling like, you know what, I'm gonna listen into what this person says. I might not agree, but I'm gonna listen in. So, um, you know, if you come down hard on someone making a mistake, they might not be willing to make that mistake, and that fearlessness and courage that they should have, they end up not having it. What you would rather see is they try to get better, because why why not help anyone get better, you know and if they succeed, you want to push them towards succeeding, so you encourage them to do it again. And you know every individual relationship, every relationship between you and a thing or a concept or something, your school, very much is built on care. And I can see that's why care is one of the 5 fingers on Coach K's fist. I think some of the moments where people showed they cared, for me, it's always been more about having belief in me, because I've more often had to deal with people doubting me. Not that that affects me, but one great way for people to show they care about me is to show their belief in me. When I was getting ready to apply to Duke, my issue wasn't, what if I don't get in? My issue was, I know I want to go, I know I can make it, but how do I apply? You know, no one could advise me on this stuff. It's kind of like saying, hey, a bunch of airlines, Wright brothers, I want to go to the moon. Well, how are they going to help me? It's not SpaceX, not NASA. I'm going higher than they could. The Wright brothers probably, I don't even know if they thought about leaving the atmosphere in any way. They were just trying to achieve flight. You know, of course, my high school was nowhere near the Wright brothers, but the main thing is, I was trying to go somewhere, achieve something that, there was no way they could advise me or help me on. And so, you know, it was a big deal when one of my friends, the guy I mentioned yesterday, pastor in LA now, he really wanted me to go to a school that he would eventually go to and graduate from. And he knew I had my mind set on something else. And he showed me he cared because, well, back up a few months, I wanted to play ball over the summer. I had to either pay to join a gym or a league. So I thought, why don't I just create my own league? I don't want to pay to play basketball. Basketball should be free for everyone. And he helped me recruit some people. He helped me by drawing up a logo for the league to use on our shirts. And he was my teammate. And at the end of the league, when I was talking about, I want to go to Duke, but I don't know how would I get in. Because right now, it's either I've already done enough or I haven't. There's no opportunities for me to do anything. No challenges, no adversity. I had to create my own. And, I created my own opportunities and succeeded, but now, great. How do I get in? And he said, you think about it. How many 17-year-olds, how many people in high school have created a basketball league? And it hit me. Although he knew that he was going to go to a different school and he wanted to go there, was hoping I would go there. He knew that I was set on going somewhere else, and he helped me by pointing out to me, something I hadn't noticed, hadn't realized. Saying, "Hey, you did something no one else has done. That's your selling point. Basketball league. Why not?" And I realized, wait, that's it. I need to write about that. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I got in. A lot of people say, oh, because you had good grades. No, everyone at Duke has great grades. I get to Duke and my SAT scores 1510 out of 1600. So what? Who cares? That's a dime a dozen. I knew so many people who had perfect scores. My thing was not that I had great grades or that I did 3 varsity sports because of that. My thing was that I had done something no one else had done, creating a basketball league. And in fact, I had inner city kids come in. So there's a lot of community impact there. So, showing that he believed in me and then he cared about me, I wasn't, once I heard that, I knew I wasn't going anywhere else because I could get into Duke. I knew what I was going to do to get in. And he wanted me to stay around, but, saying that he knew that that's what I needed. And, of course, that's a little different from the story Coach K talks about here. After losing in the national championship game in 1999, he had hip replacement surgery, and he was feeling really down. Probably, back home recuperating because I was thinking about Trajan Langdon, great player, great captain, great leader. He had just graduated, and 3 players were going to the NBA. One was transferring, but then Chris Carroll, Nate James, and Shane Battier showed up at his house. First thing they said, "Coach, are you okay? Coach, how are you doing?" And what Coach K says about that, such a simple question, but for me, it carried so much meaning. They were asking how I was doing after my operation, but also how I was doing in coping with the loss of so much of the team. My answer was a completely honest one. I am okay now that you guys are here. And, because they took the initiative to show up and see how Coach K was and ask about him, he felt revived, he felt energized. They started talking about what they're going to do for this coming year and all that. And at the end, built on this care, a great example of belief. The response, oh no, I was, okay, because they had shown such care for me, I was able to tell them confidently that I thought we were going to have a great team and a great season. I looked at them and said that we were going to be good and then asked them, do you believe it? The response I received from Chris Carrawell is one of the greatest things a player has ever said to me. He said, Coach, if you say it, I believe it. Of course, we can all look up the stats. Next season, 29-5 overall, ACC regular season champs, ACC tournament champs, and then the year after that, 2001, Nate James and Shane Battier led Duke to a 2001 national championship. And I think that's the thing. It gave Coach K the foundation of support he needed to move on positively and develop the team to the highest level, all because they cared. And I wasn't down necessarily. Like I said, I don't view my high school years as devastation. I view it as more, it was just nothing was happening, but I needed to get out, and I got what I needed. And then at Duke, despite having a reputation for just being clueless about everything, there were a few people who knew that I was trying to get better all the time. So I was trying to improve, and they helped me out a lot to the point of I didn't have money to buy clothing, especially for interviews and stuff like that, but they would let me borrow their stuff. And we often joked, well, as long as no one asks what ARL means, as opposed to, oh, that's his initials on his own clothing, I'm borrowing it, just saying, oh, it's a brand, kind of obscure, but it's like, wait a minute, Scotty, your initials are SKYS. Why do you have ARL? And then other people, I can come and go from the rooms, hey, Scotty, you're here? I'm going to watch The Count of Monte Cristo. You want to watch that? Oh, okay, let's do that. And you need a break? Just sit here and chill, have fun. Play video games, whatever you need to de-stress. Just, who cares? Just do your thing, Take a break. Just be you, do you. And, I think those are just two examples of classmates, guys in my freshman Bible study group who really helped out a lot. And then other guys who they joined SIGAT, and I still felt like I could stay around and hang out with them. And senior year ended up living off campus with some SIGATs, and I never felt like I was being excluded, and they showed me the care and stuff. So it's something that really helped me a lot when I was struggling with stuff. Starting to figure out stuff, and they were inviting me to stuff and saying, "Hey, you're still one of us," and that was a big deal. But as I've gotten older, some big time examples I've seen from the Duke Alumni Association is they care about each other a lot. As much as when Duke said, "We're accepting you, just come and do your best. That's all we care about. We'll be proud of you," because we know you're not going to stop. And we're a school of champions, so you're going to become a champion one day. You have the mindset and the heart of a winner. You just need time to develop the skill set. You have the mindset, get the skill set, and you'll make it. We're proud of you. Do your best, and we hope you'll be proud of us as a school. And then alums saying, "Hey, keep doing your thing. You're part of us. We want to help you out." And there's been so many times I had an interview senior year during the recession where the guy stopped the interview actually, and because he realized I had no idea what was going on, and started giving me advice. Hey, you got to figure out what you want to do, not in a condescending way or a critical way. Just saying, hey, being for real. You're from Duke. We're gonna help you out, but we can only help you out so much. You need to know what you're trying to do, and from there, then we can start helping you. And that was a big deal for me to be able to say, okay, you know what? This helps. I'm getting direction, I'm getting advice. I'm doing everything I can. But until I have direction, until I know what the next steps are, I don't know how to reach the next level. Same thing, how do I get to Duke? I'm not scared to apply. In fact, why not apply? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I just didn't know how to take that shot. So those are big deals for me. But I think probably probably the best example that doesn't involve Duke anyway. Um, so the past couple times I mentioned HackCOVID effect, and it comes from back in 2014, 2015. I was back at Duke, and I was helping to create Hack Duke, one of the first hackathons. Became this premier collegiate hackathon. The focus was code for good, social impact, and a lot of it was really, really very much based on doing things for others. Using tech as a solution, or not, I guess not solution, a tool to create solutions. Hosted 1,000 people in 2015. Still, in my mind, one of the great achievements in my life. And then after making some money in San Francisco, traveling a bit, thinking, I want to do something that helps others. And eventually came back to, well, how about creating hackathons? Well, no one's doing that in the South Central U.S., Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. I had studied the situation and had stagnated. Some had died off, and I had to come back and revive these things and create new ones. So I've done, I don't know, probably over 60 events total in my life now. Impacted, I don't know, 25,000 students. Something crazy. But I started all these events. I've had up to several hundred, 600-700 at some of them. One I had for the second Hack UTA, I had 829 registrations, and the thing is, schools like UTA, SMU, UNT, UTD, A&M, Rice, TSU, UTSA, NAU, UH, OU, OSU, Baylor, even Minerva in San Francisco. I advised them. There's been so many schools that I've been able to impact because the first Hack UTA, the first one here in Texas, I was able to get 254 participants. And it was weird because I remember thinking, why do these schools want to see my track? They want to see a track record in Texas when I already did 1,000 at Duke. It didn't make sense, but the fact is I had to have one. And so the most important one to me was Hack UTA. September 2017. That was going to be the first one where I, their computer science club had tried to create one in March, and I don't know what happened, but the situation went so bad that they almost were expelled or something insane from their own school. And so I stepped in and said, hey, I'll help you out. 6 months later, we're having Hack UTA. We're about a month and a half away, and I'm thinking, all right, I need to do some marketing. I need to get people to sign up. So I asked a friend to help out, and got on a call, and I'm saying, I need help on marketing. You've done this stuff before. How do I get people to sign up? It's not like I'm at Duke, people sign up automatically. People here don't know what this is. I got to figure something out. And so I'm thinking Facebook posts and stuff. How do I deal with this? About 2 minutes in, they were already talking about stuff I had never heard of, asking questions I didn't even know existed. And I was like, you know what? What do you think of helping me? Because just doing this stuff, because this is beyond anything I know. And this person ended up becoming CMO for me, and just doing all this stuff. And I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I know this person. In fact, it's the person that gave me this wristband, and we already had a history, helping each other finish the Harvard Business School online program, pulling all-nighters and just struggle bus and all that, as they called it affectionately once. I was like, hard work. It was rough, but we made it. We helped each other make it. And now this first event where I need everything to succeed, this person stepping in, even calling me during their lunch and saying, "Hey, let's get to work." I'm thinking, "What? It's your lunchtime? Are you sure?" Felt bad, so I don't want to take away from your lunchtime, but they helped me. They would help me again after work, and I was like, "Oh my God, this person is doing so much for me. It's amazing." I will always owe a massive debt of gratitude to this person. And there's no way I'd be where I am because you know, 2 weeks or maybe just a week before the event, I was thinking, all right, this first time, I'm gonna need probably at least 600 signups to even get 200 people, 150. And I forgot that exact number, but like I said, ended up with 254 participants, not signups, people who showed up. It was a crazy number of people joining, and I just thought, that's insane. I saw I looked back through the stuff they did, and I've learned it since, and I've used it multiple times. Very rarely to the same effect that they've had, but it was crazy to me. I had people helping out, and this person just they made for me it was make or break, and they made my situation. And they showed they believed in me, but they also showed that they cared for me. Because especially once getting close to the event, I called them late at night and just said, I just I'm having doubts about this because I know what to do, but the rest of the team, they're disagreeing on stuff with each other, and one guy in particular was just not helpful at all. Just never got anything done, and even messed up part of the event itself. But just out of nowhere told me that I'm not doing things right. So I called this person after, and they're telling me, "No, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. Just keep going." So I did, and I pulled it off and succeeded. And now I have all these articles written about me from various school papers, because you don't write about someone from a different school unless they did something that big. And it wasn't for me; it was for their campus. And I'm thankful immensely for this person. They had nothing to do with Duke, and really not a lot of reason to have to. They should not have cared much, and they did. And um, that was their care in action, their belief in action, and it was a big deal to me to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to continue doing that. 3 years later, you know, still doing this. HackCOVID, second one starts tomorrow. I already had a great first one. The winner was really impressive. Go to hackcovid.org. You can find that stuff. But if you go to techtrueroot.org, you can see all the articles written about me. Eventually Harvard Business School asked me to write an article. And that article, this same person was amazed. It's like, whoa, did you know I'm on Twitter? I was like, wait, what? I didn't know. Maybe I should start using Twitter again. you know, but yeah, this person's always been there for me, and I was just amazed. Because when you think about the people who care about you in life, just how much you're able to do from just knowing someone cares about you, even if they can't help you directly. Because that's the thing, having belief in you, putting that into action is doing stuff with you. Some people, they're just not the right person at the right time. So, all they can do is care about you. That late night call, they couldn't do anything because they weren't in the same state, but they took the time to take my call and talk to me and stuff, and make sure I felt okay. And look at Coach K after '99, he was in the national championship game, going on to win a great season next year and then win in 2001, and then getting blown up by UNLV, the Running Rebels, in 1990. Coach K's mom saying, Mike, you're gonna do better next year." "Ma, what do you mean? We just lost in the national championship. Trust me, you'll do better." And then Duke repeated 91 and 92. And I think for Coach K at the time, being a no-name coach and having his mom say, "You're gonna do better," that's care in action. For me, just some high school student, but my friend recognized you can make it into Duke. I'm at Duke, going to the recession, be a lump saying, you made it, you're going to graduate, you're going to become one of us. You just got to keep pushing. Here's some direction and advice. Go for it. And this friend, um, late night call, taking the call. Need help, sacrifice my lunch, my after work hours. Here you go. And there's no way I'd be where I am without them, especially um, without the belief they put into me. So hopefully everyone who watched this, you know, years from now, hopefully you're doing okay right now. Definitely call people show them you care. It's not just likes and thoughts and prayers on Facebook. It sometimes the power of words can be enough. How are you doing? And then eventually, if you say it, I believe it. Care and belief go hand in hand. It's all built on personal and individual relationships. A lot of times, it really just comes down to saying, "Hey, we're going to do what we can for you, and if we can't do much, we're going to show you that we care for you." So, everyone take time to do that for others. Thank the people who have helped you a lot in your lives. And yeah, tomorrow, day 6, the word is challenges.